going back to the Wikipedia thing and just what storytelling has been, it's preserving culture, and it's it has all of these just monumental roles, and it plays all these monumental roles in society and culture. What would you say storytelling? What's its place kind of in society today? Is it really more just about sort of entertainment and the art itself, or what? What would you think? What would you?
I could sort of armchair psychologist and cultural analysis here. I'll do that. Why not?
Whatever.
I don't know. My own feeling is, why is it so popular right now?
Yeah.
I think we really are hit with so much information, and things are happening so fast, and with social media, with everything, it's very difficult to sort of, find a genuine, authentic experience, or what is that, right? And I think that this is just an opportunity for people to go see somebody live or on radio, which is a very intimate medium, right? It's just you and that voice of that other person. And I love radio. And that intimate connection, or someone getting up there live and sharing a very personal story, I think there's just a hunger for that.
Yep.
And that's what's happening in whatever form it is, even the forms that are more fable-like in other cultures, or the earlier forms that I talked about here. It's still that same thing. It's very low-tech, right? It's just somebody with a mic, and it's just sort of that sort of communal experience. People, what's different from comedy storytelling is, when I do a storytelling show, people come up to you afterwards. In comedy, you come up to you afterwards, and everybody's sort of in the know, right? So they'll come up and they'll go, "Hey, great set, man."
Yeah.
But in storytelling, they'll come up and they'll go, "Oh my gosh, my aunt lived in that neighborhood," and they'll tell you their story.
Resonated, yeah.
And they'll tell you their story.
Yeah, interesting.
So it's much different experience.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the whole live element, like you said, I think tech is just, we can't escape it.
Right.
And we do want to have low tech or no tech, other than the mic and the lights, I guess.
And we're also we're also bombarded with a lot of crappy stories, and also a lot of false stories, right? I mean, that's what politics is, right? This is the sort of the buzz in politics for, if you're a consultant, is, what's your candidate's narrative?
Yeah.
Right. This is and it's also big. I do workshops in the corporate world and NGOs, and they're trying to tap into this because they realize this is how humans understand the world, and it's a very powerful way to connect with people.
Yes.
But we're also bombarded in, the most obvious examples come to mind, but a lot of disingenuous stories, right? The most obvious being, without getting too specific, you create, if you're, and we see this around the world actually right now, you create a fear, and then you propose to protect people from that fear.
Right.
So you create a narrative.
Right.
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 You create a problem that didn't exist. You isolate it, and this is as old as the hills.
Yep.
This technique, and then you propose yourself as the solution to this problem that you created. And it's sort of like, I think back to men's magazines do this now too, but women's magazines, you'd see the front page of the women's magazines, and always the whole psychology was create anxiety and then propose to answer it.
Right.
Are your orgasms powerful enough?
Right.
Is he cheating on you?
Right.
10 ways to find out.
Right.
6, what's the internet? It's always like
It's
5
so
ways
horrible.
to do this.
Yeah.
6 ways to
it's all these
lists.
lists that are anxiety inducing, and
so there's a lot of bad stories out there. There's
Right.
a lot of disingenuous stories, and I think authentic stories, genuine stories resonate.
Yep.